I'll say this. If you're dumb enough to make fun of the school bully, what do you think happens when she eventually finds out about those silly jokes you were making behind her back?
NANI?
You know what? I learned an important lesson that day. As she was stomping on my face. Experience is the hardest kind of teacher. It gives you the test first and the lesson afterwards. Today, we travel to the ancient island of Crete, where we'll be learning all about actions and consequences. That's right, we're gonna go back in time once again as we follow the story of the Minotaur, just as my teacher Miss Johnson described it in class. I still remember that day. We watched a movie, for some reason. So, as my teacher would often say, if you wanna learn something today, you better shut up and pay attention. After ascending the throne of the island, King Minos competed with his brothers as ruler. Minos prayed to Poseidon, the god of the sea, to send him a snow-white bull as a sign of the god's favor. Minos was to sacrifice the bull in appreciation. However, when the king saw how beautiful the animal was, he decided to trick Poseidon, keeping the white bull to himself and sacrifice one of his own instead.
NANI?
Poseidon, enraged by Minos' insolent act, turned the bull into a savage beast, causing massive damage to the kingdom and killing most of the population. Which you would think is punishment enough, but holy shit. Poseidon, dissatisfied with the destruction, cursed the king's wife Pasiphae to fall deeply in love with the savage beast. Alright? Pasiphae's love and lust for the animal grew stronger each day. Enraptured by her passion, the queen asked Daedalus, the master builder of Crete, to help her with her problem. Daedalus came up with an unusual idea. Wait a minute, relax. It's not what you're thinking. It's exactly what you're thinking.
Ladies and gents, I present to you the Minotaur, a bloodthirsty mythical creature, half bull, half man, a beast as tall as a bear with a tail as sharp as a knife and eyes as red as blood.
According to some sources, he wore a red ribbon on his head to confuse his victims and to attract potential mates. Minos asked Daedalus to build a huge labyrinth underneath his palace. A labyrinth so big and complex it would be impossible for anyone to escape. It was here where the fearsome Minotaur would be imprisoned and kept alive by feeding him vegan meat. I'm just kidding. Human sacrifices. Now a little backstory here. All stories agree that the Prince of Crete, the son of King Minos,
Prince Androgeus,
alright, was tragically killed by the Athenians. As expected, Minos waged a war of revenge for the death of his son and won. The consequence of Athens losing the war was the regular sacrifice of several of its people. Each year, a ship with black sails departed from Athens, carrying 7 men and 7 maidens as tribute. The young Athenians were chained to heavy metal balls and were doomed to go deep into the terrifying labyrinth. The people of Crete celebrated the courage of the Athenians by placing a bag of nuts outside their door as a symbol of respect for their sacrifice. When the time for the third sacrifice approached, the Athenian prince Theseus volunteered to slay the Minotaur himself. He promised his father, King Aegeus, that he would change the somber black sail of the boat carrying the victims and put up a white sail for his successful return. On arrival, Ariadne, Minos' daughter, fell deeply in love with Theseus. Unable to deal with the idea that he could be killed by her half-brother or be forever lost in the unescapable labyrinth, Ariadne gave Theseus a ball of thread, because when you're risking your life against a gargantuan atrocity, this is exactly what you need. This way, the young prince will be able to retrace his path and find his way back after he had killed the Minotaur. Theseus found his way out of the labyrinth and reunited with Ariadne. And in like a perfect fairy tale ending, they sailed away into the horizon. Theseus abandoned Ariadne in the island of Naxos. Which we can all agree, kind of an anticlimactic ending for a love story. But then again, that's what you fucking get for betraying your brother. The returning group sadly failed to replace the black sail with the promised white sail. Upon arriving, King Aegis saw the black sail ship approach. Presuming his son dead, he jumped off the cliff into the water. Now we have the Aegean Sea. With the death of King Aegeus, Theseus became the new king of Athens. Which is a happy ending. Right? Oh. Experience is the hardest kind of teacher. It gives you the test first and the lesson afterwards. The story of the Minotaur is a classic example of Greek mythology, exploring themes of sacrifice, heroism, and the consequences of defying the will of the gods. And you know what? I did learn something today. Life is indeed a series of choices that we make every single day. Our actions not only impact our lives, but also the lives of the people around us. Eventually in life, like we learned from the story, we'll find ourselves lost in a place that seems impossible to escape. It's up to us whether we stay lost in this labyrinth or we fight our way back out. The person leaving the labyrinth, however, is vastly different from the person who got in. Additionally, if someone can clearly beat you up, it's better not to upset them. I also learned that. So I guess the moral of the story here is, good actions are often rewarded, bad actions can have bad consequences. Believe me. And sometimes those consequences can be fucking horrific.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.